Good afternoon, YouTube. Welcome back once again to Fat Cat Collections. Today, folks, I got another Nubeo watch for you guys today, and I'm really happy to state that I have more information directly from Nubeo. They were nice enough to send me a spreadsheet with more of those specifications, more of those check boxes, so to speak, that all you watch collectors out there look for, right? All right, so the one I'm sharing with you guys today is one of their newest releases, and I wanted to get this video up ASAP because this is on sale right now. So this is going, I'm going to hit you with the price right off the bat, $329, and a lot of folks, based on a lot of the comments and the emails I get, I think that if you are an Invicta collector or an Aragon collector or basically an affordable watch collector and you're looking to add something to your collection that's different, and when I say different, I mean, let's face it, if you've got the Invicta or Aragon bug, you've had it for a while, and it's just, there's only so many Invictas. Don't be wrong, I'm always going to have another Invicta in my collection, but I like to get things a little bit outside the box, different brands. I love the variety. And this is definitely not only a different brand, right, Nubeo, but this is definitely a watch execution that I've never seen in any other brand before, across all brands. So very cool. Now, there might be one out there, but I've personally never seen it. So this one is their, I got to go back to the spreadsheet here, because forgive me, the Curiosity Evolution Limited Edition Automatic. And what's great about this is that I have the specifications, and that's been kind of a deal breaker for some folks who watch my channel, who are interested in the Nubeo line, who just, they're just not willing to commit to one, again, the price. Let's face it, even though $329 is definitely a competitive price for this, without knowing all those specifications, it's not, it's a deal breaker for some folks. So let's get a couple close-ups here. So this has a domed sapphire crystal. One, a domed crystal, I think, is very unique upon any brand, and you don't see them done a lot of times, right? Even on the Invictas. You see this sometimes with some of the Spinnaker watches. I think they came out with like the Picard that has that cool, very aggressively domed crystal. I think it's very, very dive-ish, right? If that makes any sense. And it is a sapphire lens. And again, remember, full disclaimer, all this information is coming directly from Nubeo, okay? So I'm not making this up. This is a spreadsheet they sent me. I am going to link this spreadsheet at one point in the description on all the other videos so you guys can kind of keep up on these specifications, see that they are coming directly from Nubeo, although this is just a spreadsheet. There is no proof of that, right? But just so you guys know, Nubeo's contact did send me this a few weeks ago, and I'm glad I have it now. What they need to do is add it to their website. But at least we'll have it now and kind of set your mind at ease as far as what you're getting. So all 316L stainless steel. And what I really like about this is that this is the unique part about this watch is that Damascus face. If you're not familiar with Damascus, it's basically a way of layering to a certain type of steel when making like knives and cutlery and stuff. I'm sure it's used in other applications as well, but Damascus has this very cool kind of like almost like out of this world sort of pattern. It's very grainy. It's very, I kind of compare it to, I don't know, just like something almost like meteorite, but just different. So if you are a fan of meteorite, I think Damascus is a very cool alternative to add to your collection, and it's more affordable than meteorite. You definitely pay a premium for meteorite. Again, Damascus, very strong, used a lot in cutlery, pocket knives, hunting knives, and it's very beautiful. It has a very unique and very exotic look. It kind of reminds me, what I was trying to think of, is kind of like the way burl wood looks in the grain of burl wood. That's kind of how this like looks in steel. So very cool, and I guess they get that look by I believe hammering layers of steel together. It's sort of a process. Now I don't know if this is genuine Damascus. It does state that on the spreadsheet Nubeo sent me, so can't confirm or deny with 100%, but I've seen Damascus many times, and from what I can tell, it looks like genuine Damascus. Even if it isn't, it looks awesome. I mean, nonetheless. All right, so what else do you get with this? So again, 316 stainless steel case. You do get this cool crown protector. This is something you might see on like some of your Invicta Sea Hunters. It's kind of like I don't know, this is nothing really too unique. It's done on a lot of different watches out there, but I like that it adds a little something to the watch. It protects the crown, and it is a screw-down crown as well with your Nubeo logo right on the crown. Not a lot of branding on this. You have an exhibition window on the case back that's done in kind of like this cool kind of tinted blue color. And you do have on the back here, it looks like the Curiosity, and all these are themed watches. So this particular model is themed off space, and this is themed with the Curiosity. We're going to read about that in a second. I'll read you that directly off the website. Again, one thing I really appreciate about this is that they're using several different materials. You have a carbon bezel, which is a genuine carbon bezel. It just looks really cool, looks really different. You have that different grain of the carbon. Now, don't get this confused with carbon fiber. It's not carbon fiber, but it is a carbon bezel. I'll throw some pictures up here where we can see these a little bit better, but just a very, very nice contrast between that Damascus face. In addition, you have an open heart on this, showing off that balance wheel spinning away, and you have this huge bright red like jewel or gemstone. Not sure if it's just glass or if it is actually a stone. Can't confirm or deny that. Again, that's another piece of information Nubeo should put out there. It's made to simulate, sort of look like a ruby. I don't think it's a genuine ruby or a synthetic ruby, but it gives you that look, and I think it really makes the movement pop a little bit, right? I really like the idea that they put that little bit of bling on there. What else? Again, mentioned screw down crown, 316 stainless steel. You do have a couple micro adjustments on the clasp, 3 of them, and you have a milled clasp with a dual push button deployant safety push button clasp and a safety lock. The quality of Nubeo is, I mean, fantastic. And if you guys like, again, Invicta, Aragon, you're going to love the quality of these. Bulova, any of those brands, you're getting that level of quality, reserve level quality, in a brand that's different than Invicta. Very cool. They do make a couple different variations on this. I'm not going to touch on all those. I encourage you to click the link in the description and just check out the different variations. I do happen to have one here, which is done in a carbon face that's been infused with like some sort of gold type or gold-like material. Not sure what it is, but this is actually on a silicone or rubber strap. So you'll see the review of this coming soon as well. But this, again, $329, you really can't beat the price point. Nubeo kind of does something I don't really like when it comes to their pricing. They put the pricing really high. This is retailing for upwards of, what, $1,500. Again, remember, price is very subjective. I've said it many times. When you look at luxury brands, is a watch really worth 20 grand, really worth 150 grand? What makes it worth that? Sure, if a watch is made of specific materials like exotic gold or platinum, white gold, crystals, any kind of diamonds, things like that do dictate what the price is like. But if we're just looking at stainless steel, there's nothing in 904 that warrants that kind of price point. And really, Rolex is one of the only few companies that use it. Most of the other ones are all 316. So what are you paying for? Guys will argue about the quality, and I'm not going to make this video about that. I almost say it in every video. I'm going to give you guys a breather on that. But let's just face it, you're getting exceptional quality here. But $1,500 is a lot of money I think for most people, and it's nice that Nubeo definitely has a aggressive pricing structure. When they put them on sale, they try to blow them out the door and be done with it. And what's interesting, I was kind of thinking about this today, and I just want to touch on this. One thing I think that Nubeo should do, I think, and this is something that I don't see a lot of brands doing. This is something I think that makes Rolex very successful and creates this sort of frenzy. Remember, when you talk about people in Rolex, they always, like a lot of folks out there, think that Rolex is an investment. You buy any Rolex, you're going to make money. And that could be true, but that could also not be true. There's many pre-owned Rolex watches that are all over eBay that you can buy for less, right? Let's face it, why would you pay, let's just say a Submariner is $10,000, right? Let's just say, pick a number right now. Specific model, $10,000 MSRP. And you're finding the brand new model, $10,000 on eBay. Well, what about last year's model? Most people want the newest model. So if that's still $10,000, who's going to buy the older version, a pre-owned version, for $10,000 when you can buy the new one? Now again, good luck getting certain model Rolex watches, but what I do think is really interesting, what Rolex does, which I think is kind of a reverse what other companies do. Like Nubeo, $1,500 MSRP, but that's not what people may buy that, right? If this goes out of stock and sells out, you might be able to sell one of these on eBay for that, right? You might be able to sell, Nubeo might be able to sell a few left for that, right? If somebody's really hot about it. Remember, different price points for different people, different budgets. Just because I may say, whoa, $1,500, that's beyond my comfort level for spending on a watch, I'll pick it up for $329, but if you snooze, you lose sometimes, right? But there are people out there who feel that they like it enough where, hey, they got a lot of money and it's not a big deal for them, right? So again, that price is subjective, just like with anything out there. But one thing I find what Rolex does is if you look at their MSRPs on some of their watches, and I'm not a Rolex expert, but generally, like if you look at, I forget the exact reference number, right? But The MSRP on that was like $8,000, and I think it was like a 2021 model. It was like $8,500 or $9,000. But when you were to go reference that, look at that number in today's price on eBay, Bob's Watches, all these different places, they're selling in that $10,000 to like $13,000 price point, more than the MSRP. And what's really interesting is that what Rolex does is they put an MSRP that's unobtainable in a lot of cases. Most of the time with a Rolex watch, people are going to pay more than the MSRP for them. And I think what Rolex does, and again, full disclaimer, I don't know, this is just my opinion, I think Rolex puts a MSRP under what they're actually going to sell for. And then people are like, oh, if they get it for 10 or they overpay, Rolex is making a shit ton of money, and dealers are making a shit ton of money, and people have this idea in their head that these watches are constantly appreciating. You know, I don't believe that that's 100% true. So I think it would be really interesting for a brand like Nubeo to go ahead and put an MSRP on here of like $329. And then when they sell them, the problem with that is that Nubeo mainly sells directly to customer, where Rolex does with a actual store. But if you were to go into a store, you're not going to find specific models for MSRP. They're going to be more. So I think it'd be kind of interesting if Nubeo did actually put an MSRP on a watch like this of, let's say, $400. Then every now and then you have a sale for $329, $350 like they have now. We're like, wow, it's selling for under MSRP. It's a great deal. You pick it up, and then any other time the MSRP $400, and then on their site they're having it for like $550. That creates subconsciously and consciously in people's mind, like, wow, these watches are selling out. They're actually selling for more than what they thought the MSRP is going to be. And I think that kind of plants a seed in people's minds that there's an appreciation factor there. I don't know. Maybe it's just maybe my thinking's too deep, but I think that they would be better off, brands like Invicta as well, putting really kind of aggressively priced MSRPs and then selling the watches for more, right? And I think that would create the illusion to people that, ooh, you know, these watches appreciate, and people will be more inclined to spend a little more for them, right? Now, I'm not privy to Nubeo's sales. I don't know how well they do, but I do know, just based on my referrals back in last month, did extremely well with these watches. I referred over 13 grand to Nubeo just through my videos. So people do like them, they are popular, and they're collectible. And I think that anytime a watch company can make something like Invicta, like Aragon, if they can make a collector, then they're going to sell a lot more watches. You know, when people say, ooh, Invicta came out with a new model, Nubeo came out with a new model, I want to add it to my collection. And a lot of people who buy these aren't buying them for, you know, they're not buying for investment purposes. That's not what these watches are for. I mean, if you are going to buy a watch for investment, I'm not the guy to talk to, but I surely wouldn't recommend a Nubeo. You would buy something higher ticketed, like a Rolex, like an AP, like brands like that kind of play in that world, right? That's the watches that are in that world. These are not. These are watches that are fashion watches. You know, they're watches that, and I don't say that. A lot of folks say fashion as if it's something that indicates quality. It's not the case, but these are not watches that I think you buy and you try to flip and make money. Not to say you can't. I've done it with many Invicta watches where I bought them, thought I was going to get a great deal on them. Remember, supply and demand and what you get something for, right? I've got some Invictas for like $138, $140, Aragons, you know, $200, and then, you know, they become discontinued, and there's people who are hot. They're collectors who want them. They're willing to pay a little more for them, and you make a little money on them. Of course, the larger the ticket item, the more you potentially can make on that. So, again, but that's not what this video is about. So, most important, I digress. Let me come back to the watch. So the most important specification in the Nubeo brands, which I think holds people back a little bit, is the movement. And so some folks are thinking that, oh, well, they're just stating that, oh, it's a Chinese, they say Japanese automatic, or they say, Chinese automatic, whatever they may state on their website, they leave off the actual movement name. Well, I'm happy to report that this watch and many of their other watches are using well-known, very respected movements like Miyota's, like Seiko and the NH series. So this watch is powered by, and let me just double check, I just want to make sure I don't give you guys bum information here. We're looking at, that is correct, the NH38. And the NH38 version, I believe, is a no-date version of the NH35, if I'm saying that right. Anything NH series by Seiko is a very well-respected, very reliable movement, and I think that that's going to check the box for many watch collectors who maybe wanted to get one of these, is interested in the brand, but it didn't have those check boxes. And really, when you think about it, if you are collecting a watch based on the check boxes, right? Based on what I call check boxes. what are the features? You know, the specs. They call spec monster watches, right? Which I think is stupid, but you know, a lot. But that's okay. What may work for me may not work for you, and that's totally okay. But I think a lot of folks, when you're looking at affordable watches, really any watch, in all honesty, is what is it made out of? You know, we of course naturally want to look at construction, and you only know what a watch is built like until you actually get it. You know, when you look at the tolerances. The nice thing about the modern world is that really $50 watches coming out of China have amazing tolerances and are incredible. I would say, in my opinion, $50 watches coming out of China are superior to Rolex watches coming out of the 80s. You know, I mean, I just think that's how technology works. Modern machining works that way. But when we look at a watch like this, you know, how well are they put together? You know, what are the tolerances like? In all honesty, pretty much every watch I review and every price point all has about the same tolerances and all about the same quality, right? But checkbox, what is it made out of? Most affordable watches are going to be made of 316L stainless steel. That's what this is made out of. If you're getting high quality stainless steel, you don't really need anything more than that. Some folks will come back and say, oh, a 904. And remember, 904 is mainly only used in Rolex. There are a few brands that use it, but folks will come back and say, oh, 904, I can, you know, I don't mean to insult anybody, but if somebody tells me that they can feel the difference between 904, that is in their mind. There's nothing between 904 and 316 that you can feel as being different. Titanium, you can. Titanium has a different look, right? You can see the difference if we're just talking about finishing, but then you can feel the lightweight of titanium, right? That's something you can feel. Same thing with what's another type of metal they use. Invicta's done a few. I've been eyeballing one for a while. I want to say rhodium, but that might be it. A lot heavier, a lot denser. You can feel the difference. Gold, you'd be able to feel the difference. Between 904 and 316, anybody who says you can feel the difference is, frankly, I don't want to say a liar, but they just have kind of convinced themselves there's a difference. There really isn't. Again, I joke, the only real reason to have 904 is if you're going to become a mermaid and live in the bottom of the ocean. There's really no advantage to it whatsoever. Now, I do think 904 is softer, and I think it's used in the Rolex brand is because there's such a turnover with watches and people selling and trying to make money and you know, for investment purposes, that kind of stuff, is that 904, being it's softer, it can be polished easier. So I think that allows a jeweler to polish out a lot of scratches and bring that watch back to a level of quality, back to a level of condition that will gain the owner a better price when they sell it. That's my opinion on why they use that. I don't know, just my opinion. But this has got the 316. You have that NH38 movement. Again, that speaks for itself. You're getting a high quality automatic movement. You don't need anything more than that. And for those folks who are like, oh, you know, you hear it all the time. Rolex is so accurate. Luxury brands are so accurate, right? You can check out Richard Perret watchmaker. He regulated an NH35 to +1 negative seconds, right? And that's Rolex. That's COSC's chronometer specification. That's almost as accurate as it gets in an automatic analog watch. If you can do it that, you can have it done to this. Do you want to though? What's really the point? I always say if you want accuracy, you don't buy an automatic watch. You buy a digital. But again, what are you paying for, you know? So you're getting a great automatic watch. Everything else, check boxes like sapphire crystal. That's a big one. It's got the sapphire lens on it. It's got the screw-down crown. It's got the carbon bezel. It's got the Damascus face. It's got that beautiful, and these are kind of aesthetics, but they got that open heart on it, showing off that automatic movement. Exhibition window on the back. Carbon bezel. I mean, great tolerances. Amazing, amazing milled clasp. I mean, all these things are not specific to this watch, but the Nubeo brand in general. So let's throw it on the wrist. I'm going to show you what it looks like. As far as the other specifications, I'm going to stop there and leave you with 660 feet of water resistance. And what I want you to do, click the link in the description. Take advantage of the FATCAT 15 discount code. Get 15% off if you're going to buy one. Try it. It may work on sale pricing as well. It's kind of hit or miss on whether it does. I'm not going to show you the box. There's pictures on here. I'm going to throw them up during the video. I probably already threw them up, but let's see what it looks like on the wrist. It's an incredible watch, and I think you guys are going to love it. If I remember correctly, I think the size on this is 48 or 50 millimeters. Go click the link. Check that out. Very masculine looking watch. I love how they've done the combination of carbon, that Damascus. It's just a very masculine, very industrial looking watch, and definitely one that if you are a watch addict like myself, pick it up now, because once these are gone, you're going to see the price jump up. I wish Nubeo would let me know when they're going to have a sale price and kind of coordinate that with my videos, but they just don't. I saw this pop up on their website, and I was like, shoot, now I got to get a video done. And I had been sick with the COVID for 2 weeks, coming on 2 weeks, and this is like the second day I've finally been able to really start to get up and get rolling here. So no delaying videos, though. I did schedule some out, but I hope that by the time you guys see this video that this watch is still on sale. What I'd really like for Nubeo to do, and I'm going to talk to them about this, but I really would like them to create a coupon code that's not just like a Fat Cat 15, but something specific that you'll get this for the best pricing when you watch the video. You know, I would like this watch to always be $329 when you buy through my link and buy using my coupon code. Because if this watch pops up to $1,500 and you use the 15% off coupon, you're still going to be paying over $1,000 for it. And realistically, in all honesty, you know, and I'm always going to be truthful with you guys. Remember, price is subjective, right? If you buy this one for $1,500 a year down the road because you fell in love with it, you wanted, you got the coin for it, then I'm not going to say you're getting ripped off because it's bringing you happiness. But solid price point on these when you compare it to everything else that's out there. Other brands by Dartmouth and Nubeo, you know, $329. Incredible. It really is a great deal. So pick it up. Let me know if I can help you guys in any way. I want to thank Nubeo, as always, for their generosity and collaborating with Fat Cat Collection. It's been an awesome ride so far. And nice thing about them, they're always coming out with new watches. So stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.